Welcome to Knitinthezone. I'm Jen, and today I'm going to show you guys my finished objects for June 2017. But first off, before we get started, I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for joining me today and for spending a little bit of your time with me. If you guys are new, thank you for stopping by and checking it out. I hope you enjoy it. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Also, I wanted to mention the Stash Dive Knit Along that's going on right now. You can visit stashdive.com to get all of the details on the knit along, but I'll just give you a short rundown. Basically what it is it's a knit along. There's no set project that you have to complete. It's basically photographs on Instagram of projects and yarn related things. So after you go on to the stashdive.com website and look at all the rules and get all the information, then you would follow the hosts on Instagram, and then you would just post and do hashtag StashDiveCal. So and it has a weekly theme, so every week there'll be a different theme and then a winner's chosen. For the week of July 9th through 15th, I am the I guess one of the prize donors for that week, so I'm a sponsor that week. So that week there'll be a skein of yarn from TrainTrackFiberDesigns. There's also a few other hosts that week, so there'll be some other prizes as well. So definitely check it out and go join. If you haven't already started following me on Instagram, follow me over there. I'm knit_in_the_zone on Instagram. And also follow my fiber designs company, which is TrainTrackFiberDesigns on Instagram. So follow those things. On my TrainTrackFiberDesigns, I'm doing a giveaway right now. You can read the description and enter if you want to on there. Also, if you haven't joined the Ravelry group for Knitinthezone, go join that too. Just search under the group tabs for Knitinthezone and you'll find me pretty easily. So yeah, there's those things. Now on to the finished objects. So I have socks. The first pair that I finished, first let me explain something. I only have one pair of foot dummies, so I have two pair of socks, so I only put one on the dummy. So anyway, one sock per thing. But this is the first pair I finished. This yarn is from Knitinthezone, and this is on the Euro sock base, and the colorway is Out From Under. And the pattern is a pattern that I wrote. This is the first draft of it. I have the second draft that's also complete, but it's called Kip, and these were knit on size US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. And as you guys know, if you've watched any other episodes before, I've probably mentioned that I really love Knitinthezone Euro sock, so I knit a lot of socks out of that yarn. But this was my first draft, and I'm happy with the pattern. I've changed it a little bit, and I will show you the second thing I finished for June. And these are the changes that I made. So this is the same general idea of a sock pattern. I just changed a few things and made it, I feel like, better. You can see the toes still the same on it, and I just brought this part up a lot higher, and then rather than doing a traditional ribbing, I've done this kind of like lacy open ribbing up here, because as you can see on this sock, it makes it really tight. Not so tight that you can't get it over your foot, but it was tight enough for me to feel like that was a proper ribbing for a top of a sock to keep it from slipping down. So I decided just to do that in a smaller amount up here. But this is the second sock, or the second pair of socks. And this is from my yarn company. This is the Alley Bash sock base, and the color is Green Tanager. And I'll hold both of these up so you can kind of see the difference. And it has a slip stitch heel on both of them. It's just the basic differences are just, like I said, I started this way sooner on that one, and it's kind of a little bit different. but it still is the same little details, it's just set up differently. I am going to write it out and use both of them in the pattern whenever I write it and give it to you guys. That way, you know, you can play around with those little parts and pieces of the pattern and make the sock however you want it. I'll include the full pattern for the last one that I showed you, which is this one, and then I'll include a breakdown so you can kind of put the pieces where you want if you want to, you know, mess with it at all. So that's the first thing. And both of them were knit on the same needles, which was a US 1 or a 2.25 millimeter. And they were both knit toe up, 2 at a time. So that's the first things, I guess. The next thing is a shawl. And this is the Tokorel shawl. And I'm sure I'm butchering that name, so I apologize if you actually know how to say that. But this is what it looks like. And now there's this lace pattern right here that I felt like was quite challenging, really. I've been knitting lace, I've been knitting for 11.5 years, and I've been knitting lace consistently for probably 7 or so years, but I felt like that was a challenge, really. I would knit it again, but it's just one of those things. This lace panel on here, these 2 panels, those are not potato chip knitting. They are like, you know, everybody shut up in the room. I'm counting and reading and recounting and reading, because it really was one of those things you really had to pay attention to. But there's only 2 of those panels in this shawl. So all in all, you know, it really was a simple thing, because even though these little brown sections, they do have some detail, it's not anything hard to remember. I mean, it was very simple. And then down here, you know, obviously that's just very simple too. So there's that. And the yarn I used for this is also Alibash from TrainTrackFiberDesigns. The pink is Flamingo Flex, and then the brown is Sweet Wheat, and I have my notes that tell me what I have left. So each one of those are 400 yards and 100 grams. And of the pink, which I did the lace section out of, I have 29 grams left of that. And then of the Sweet Wheat, which is the brown and the plainer sections, I only had 6 grams left of that. So the only changes I really made, this last section back here, she had said to repeat this pattern only 3 times. I repeated it 4 because, like I said, I had yarn left, so I just wanted to try to use up as much as I could. I considered doing an additional lace pattern on the bottom, or additional repeat of that lace pattern on the bottom. I didn't do it simply because I'm lazy. It would have been nice, really, probably to have that, just to make it a little longer. But anyways, I didn't, and I'm happy with it. I will link it in the show notes below. This is a free pattern, so if you're interested in knitting one, definitely check it out. And the last thing that I finished, I just finished this actually on the phone a few minutes ago whenever I was talking to my grandmother. This is the first blanket square for Knit a Square. If you guys watched my charity knitting post a few weeks ago, I had talked about that I was going to try to knit some things for charity for Stash Dive, and this is my first square. I'm gonna have to block it because it's wanting to curl up, and that just bothers me. So anyways, but that's my first square. And the yarn that I used for this is the Knit Picks Hawthorne and Compass, and I held it double, and I knit it on a size 8 or US size 8 needle, and I cast on 30 stitches, which made it be about 8 inches, and then I worked for about 8 inches. I have no idea how many rows, I didn't count, but anyways, that's my first square. And I'm just going to make a whole stack of these as I run across yarn that's like leftovers, you know, that I'm not going to use for anything else. And whenever I get a pretty hardy stack, then I'm going to mail it off to Knit a Square and let them do their magic and make some blankets for some people in need. So that is my first little step into charity knitting. Also, I did donate big bag of yarn to my local library for their children's crafts projects that they're doing this summer, and I think I already told you guys that I mailed off some skin tone yarns to one of the ladies who was working on the knitted knockers. So I'd already done that before I made that post about knitting for charity, but I just thought it was worth a mention that there are those things out there. If you guys are interested in charitable giving or knitting, you can definitely look at that post that I made before, and I have all the links to all the things that I found. So yeah, I think I've told you guys about everything that I have. Don't forget to check out my shop, TrainTrackFiberDesigns.com. There's a lot of fun colors on there right now. And then I've recently got a BFL base on there, and I have more mini sparkles coming in the mail, so I have to dye them up tomorrow. So hopefully I'll have some more colorways of that. I do take custom colorway requests. If you guys are interested in anything, definitely message me and we can figure out, you know, some really cool things for you. Or if you just have an idea, you can send me a picture or anything and I can, you know, dye based on that picture. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining me today. And oh, one more thing. Next week is Independence Day for the United States, so there will only be one episode next week, and it will be towards the end of the week because Independence Day is on Tuesday, July 4th. So there will not be a Tuesday episode next week. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and a great beginning of next week, and I will see you guys soon.